But yeah, we can slide on to the next topic, and let's talk about this because there was a lot of controversy that stirred up about Star Wars Outlaws. After we had a quick initial kind of impression of it and talked a little bit more about it, there's been a debacle that sprouted about Ubisoft's season pass strategy, and upon further review it seems that the season pass and I guess upper ultimate editions of the game contain a mission or a set of missions. I'm not sure which is which, but I believe at least a mission that is locked behind a paywall of the season pass. I believe it's a Jabba the Hut mission specifically that's locked behind the season pass, and nobody outside of it will be able to get it. A little bit of a quick squint of what's going on over there at Ubisoft with this game. When your thoughts on this debacle?
I thought that shit was stupid, but it's par for the course for Ubisoft. Like, I am not surprised they did this shit in the slightest. Quite literally, almost every time they drop a game, they think of a sick ass idea and make that shit, and then they make that shit DLC. I'm looking at you. Mario plus Raging Rabbit, Sparking whatever, Rayman DLC. Like, that would have been cool to just have them in the fucking game. And maybe that shit would sell more units if you had that in the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that shit. Imagine watching the launch trailer or the second or the last trailer that they dropped for this game and seeing Jabba the Hut and being like, oh, now I gotta tap in. But now you can't even advertise this shit with the main game, because then you're lying. Because then people are going to play and they'll be like, there's no Jabba the Hut here. And they'll be like, well, Jabba the Hut is actually DLC. Bro, there's a D
they're not gonna tell you that outright. They're not going to tell you that outright.
Like that, and that's what's so nasty about it, bro. Like, it's par for the course for them. The same way Capcom is going to put meaningless microtransactions in your PlayStation store and your Steam store of shit that you don't need. Like, that, don't get me wrong. Bad, it's stupid, but it's not harmful because it's shit that you really don't need. It is stupid. It is good to criticize. I think that is fine. But it's also really smart to understand not to compare those two things. Because there is one person just being like, hey, here's extra bullshit that you can find in game and you can pay real money for if you don't want to find it in game. Here's shit that you cannot find in game unless you pay for it. And this is why Ubisoft will continue to take L's and continue to say dumb shit like, hey, maybe you guys shouldn't own your games. Like, this is the problem. Do you guys not see that there's an issue here, brother? We need to tighten up. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing, bro? You're so, oh my god. They're not smart.
This is my thing, bro. Last week we were literally excited to actually talk about Star Wars Outlaws. We literally were, honestly. I think there's a lot of problems with this game. I think it's great. It's always nice getting new stories from the Star Wars universe that aren't involving, you know what I'm saying, that don't involve Skywalkers directly and stuff. So in any format that comes, I will be excited. But immediately the momentum from the mystique, or again, the little bit of the, you know, trying to figure out this game, the excitement or whatever, building up the game, the hype, in whatever form that may come, it's now being overshadowed by this situation because you guys choose to be greedy at every single turn because you're in a financial strait. And one, that's also y'all fault for paying for Skull and Bones and making that whole thing even get developed. That's a whole nother thing. Sorry for the random stray, but it is partly their fault. But this is the thing that kills me though. It's a single player game, and I understand single player content being dropped in DLCs like months after. I understand developing that stuff months after and not being ready months after. The Jabba the Hut mission is ready day one. That is a day one thing. That is something that if there was no season pass, yes, let's play it. It's there, it's available. But you're forcing to cut your content offering short and only give a certain player base for $40 extra per person for the season pass. And who knows how often or how little you're going to drop content with that season pass. Like, for me, it's so scummy. It is scummy. It's just like, bro, it's a single player game. How much can you commodify single player content to the point where, like, bro, you're locking missions, you're locking content behind paywalls for no other good reason than, hey, we need more money from y'all. You're gonna have to fork up $40 more if you want to play an extra mission and see Jabba the Hut. Like, to me, that's insane. To me, that is crazy. I don't understand. I would love to be a fly on the wall in some of their PR meetings. I would love to be a fly on the wall just to see how they perceive their own PR, their own marketing, their own brand perception in the market today. I would love to be in those rooms. I would love to hear Yves Guillemot's conversations about this, because there's no way they can think they're perceived as totally, you know, good people, totally like good, sane, normal, celebrated studios in the gaming space. And again, this ain't got nothing to do with the developers and stuff like that. None of them folks. They trying their hardest to make great games. This is down to the decision makers who say, oh yeah, let's put this behind the season pass. I'm sure people will love paying $40 for one extra mission for like, you know, a good 3 or 4 months. What is that? What part of the game is that? What part of the game is that? No, it's wrong. Ass. We move, bro. Ubisoft, man. How can you keep running into L's like Wile E. Coyote runs into walls? Like, I don't understand what's up with these people, man. It's ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous at this point, when.
Yeah, it's nasty. And but again, coming from Ubisoft, I'm not surprised whatsoever. I honestly would be more surprised if you would have said Ubisoft adding all missions in their games. I'd have been like, what? Like, you would have got me on that one.
Facts. Brand perception in the gutter, in my opinion. We'll see what they do this summer, man. It's going to be interesting if certain things don't pop up at Ubisoft Forward, man. Going to be interesting times indeed.